Well, hello everyone. So this is a hydrovac brake booster off of my 1975 Dodge D600 dump truck slash wrecker. It used to be a dump truck and someone put a rollback bed on it. So what was going on with this thing was I put new master cylinder up on the firewall, all new wheel cylinders, new brake lines, and when you hit the brakes will stick on, just the rear brakes, and you will hear a loud vacuum sound coming out of the breather hose that comes off of the valve here. This goes up under the seat and it has like a filter on it, and your vacuum from your engine goes here. Well, you will hear a constant vacuum sound and the brake pedal will be real hard, and the truck wouldn't move unless you cut the key off, and then you can jack it up, you can roll the wheels. As soon as you crank it up and tap the brake, the rear wheels will lock up, and like I said, the truck would move. So I'm believing it's got something to do with this diaphragm in here, or there's something in here that's sticking inside of the master cylinder part here, because I believe your front brakes hook here and your rear brakes hook here. Or it might be opposite. Might be rear brakes here, front brakes here. But they have a rebuild kit for this. It's kind of pricey. I wanted to tear it down before I ordered anything, just to see what it is. Is it a piston or something sticking, or this big diaphragm in here is leaking or rotted out, or what? I wasn't losing any brake fluid, because I seen that some people were saying it can suck brake fluid out of the master cylinder on the firewall into the booster area, and that can get sucked into your intake through your engine, and you have like a lot of engine smoke, and that brake fluid can wash out the cylinders, mess up your ring and piston, and mess your engine up. So I wasn't having that problem. My only problem was boost. So let's tear it down and see exactly what we got. Now you can buy these brand new. I think they're remans. You can buy brand new reman ones or reman ones, but they're like $800 to $1,000, and there's very few of them out there. I was looking around, I couldn't find up like one or two in stock, and you have to send them your old one, and they will send you a remanufactured one. And it's the same setup on a Ford F600. It has the same vacuum style booster all the way back to the 60s. They had hydrovac boosters up under the rear of the truck. They're basically made the same. It might be something a little bit different. Let me get some ice cream on. Might be something a little bit different on the diaphragm end, but they basically do the same thing, which is help the brakes or the brake pedal a little easier to push. Gives you that vacuum assist to all your brakes. Same as a car nowadays, except cars just got a booster up on the firewall with the master cylinder in front of it. A lot of your big trucks use a hydrovac system. Some of them run off the power steering pump I've seen. It's like hydraulic assist brakes. Quote me if I'm wrong. But this is the first one I've ever had to deal with. Now they do make a kit that you can put a later model style booster and master cylinder on the firewall for those 70 model Ford and Dodge trucks. It's like 500 bucks, but it's just a later model master cylinder and booster, and you have to add a proportionate valve. Look like I'm already seeing. Is it coming out of there? I don't know. You have to add a proportionate valve yourself and redo the brake lines. So that was another option I had. I might have to end up taking this hose off. It's got this hose, this metal line that's blocking the clamp from coming off. It's probably never been into before. I bet you that's welded on there. Let me get a wrench and get that hose off. See what size wrench that is. It looks like it's an 11/16. Nope. I hope I don't have to heat that up. I had to heat up all the brake lines. To get them off of this thing. Except for this one, it would not come off. So I just unhooked it from, there's a T fitting. So I just unhooked it from there. I think this has actually got an O-ring inside of it. So if you're wondering what the truck actually looks like, you can go back and see it on the channel. Don't want to break nothing because this stuff is like ancient. Yeah, that comes out of there. Now we can get this ring off. Like I say, this thing is expensive. But I did find a company that sells a rebuild kit. Sucker won't come loose. There we go. Let's crack it open here. There's brake fluid. Oh yeah, it's brake fluid in there. So it's definitely leaking. It's full of brake fluid. That's why it's probably got this drain on the front. You can open it. Man, I'm gonna have brake fluid everywhere. Oh man, it is. Look at all the brake fluid coming out of there. And this, there it goes. It's moving. I got a gusher of brake fluid. I think. Oh my. Man, I gotta get something quick. Let me. Woo! That is coming out of there, folks. It's all on my work table here. There's a seal or something leaking. It shouldn't be brake fluid in behind this thing. Man, this is everywhere. Set it over here. Oh, it's pouring brake fluid all over the floor. So y'all give me a second. Let me get all this cleaned up because it's a mess. All right, so after doing a massive cleaning up, you can see this thing was half full of brake fluid, and I believe the seal that this rod runs on, you can see some black remnants of like rubber. I think that seal went bad and it was letting brake fluid dump into behind the diaphragm, and now that I think about it, it probably was sucking brake fluid into the intake, because this tube here comes from the intake manifold and it goes straight into the back of the booster. Now all the fluid was really at this level here. I don't know if it got up that high, but still vacuum can suck brake fluid out. So luckily we did tear it down before it did some engine damage. The diaphragm's got a little rough spot in it, but it's not all the way through. Let's see, where did I see that at? Right here. But it's not all the way through though. So it's going to need a rebuild kit, but I'm going to tear it down anyway and send the company some pictures of all the parts so I can make sure I get the right kit. I emailed him and he had me measure the diaphragm, and he said they had the kit by that measurement. Well, I want to make sure before I go and order all that stuff and then have to end up shipping it back because it ain't right. So it looks like it's just got this nut right here. I guess you can chisel that nut off. Look like somebody's hit it with a chisel or something. So they might have been in it before. But let's see if we got a socket that big. If not, I'll just use a chisel and nope, it's gonna be bigger than that. That's a big one. Man. Have to break out the big socket set. Close. I think we'll have to go with that other one because that's what I got in here. So yeah, it looks like it's a seal with a snap ring. This should be, yeah, it's a couple of seals here and here. So if those fail, it's a lot of junk in there too. Look at that. That's the piston right there. Shooting brake fluid out of the hose back there. So this time, here it is. It comes off. So there's the piston. Seems to be moving. I don't know. It takes that out of there. I think it's a snap ring down in there. It's so dirty. That should come out. We could take this valve side out too. Take this off, and then we'll. Oh, I see probably how it comes out. It has a big nut right here on the end, and that should shoot that cylinder out of there. Like I say, well, might as well go ahead and break it down anyway. Sorry if I'm sniffing a lot. Sinuses are acting up. We got all this weather changing, and like today it's like 70. It's been like 40. I'll try and keep the sniffing at a minimum. So there's a spring, 2 springs, some kind of metal piston. This thing is just full of trash. Get something to push that out. There's a plunger and a piston. I'm gonna lay it all out. That's it. We'll put all that in the parts washer. So you got some kind of little metal piston, a spring, a rubber plunger. That's the end cap screw. So you got those things there that go inside of this secondary master cylinder, and this is, I want to say this is a relief valve. I'll find the names of all this stuff. But I know this goes to the floorboard of the truck, and it's got a filter that goes on the end of it. And it does pull in some vacuum. That filter is supposed to keep the clean air coming in, keep dirt from sucking through. And that's probably how this system got so dirty inside. Now I think about it, when I bought the truck, it didn't have a filter. This hose was just open under the seat, and over time it was probably just sucking trash in, and it messed up the seals and everything. So I bought a filter and put on it, and but I think it was a little bit too late. So let's turn down that valve on the side. See what it looks like. I'm curious how this thing works now. It's actually missing one screw. Oh, I took one screw out because it had a tag on it with the serial number, but I think it was just for this valve piece. What is that? Why is it? Look at that. Look at that. It has sucked in plastic. What the hell? That's why the valve wouldn't close. It sucked in a piece of plastic under the seat. Wow. So this was just staying open all the time, letting the vacuum stay flowing through the booster, which was holding the diaphragm in. Wow. Huh. It was a big piece of plastic. It sucked through this hose up under the seat. And we figured that out. And it's some glass. It's glass jammed in it too. I bet you the whole inside of that thing is dirty. Let me get a couple of pictures of that before I start tearing down everything. We'll finish tearing it down right fast. So that right there was part of the reason why it had constant vacuum. Because the vacuum inside of the cab was real loud. Because that's been open constantly. Let me get a couple pictures while I move everything around. Okay. That way I can send it to that guy or girl, whoever I emailed, and get a better understanding what I need. So let's tear it down a little further. Battery going dead. Oh, that one screw broke off. Oh, hell. Yeah, one screw snapped. Well, we can drill and tap that out. So that is a shocker. Put this over here. It's got a piston in it. Ew. Look at that. All that dirt has been sucking in. brake fluid. So all this stuff needs to be cleaned. That's on the spring there. That plastic was holding that open like that. So if you got one of these trucks and let me get y'all closer in here. If you got one of these trucks and you having a problem at your hydrovac booster and you don't have a filter on that hose that runs through the cab, I suggest that you put one on it. If you hear like loud vacuum, you got a hard brake pedal, that means that something inside of this valve here is not working right. This diaphragm wasn't closing. So I'm gonna send these pictures to that company, so I'll be for sure to get the right rebuild kit. There's that plastic, and get this all cleaned up and get it back on the truck, and hopefully the brakes work right. Now this end here, this end was going through here, and there's it's a seal there and a seal on the other end, so that was letting the fluid bypass to get inside behind the diaphragm. So anyway, I'm gonna get this stuff cleaned up, get the emailing, and once I get the rebuild kit, we'll come back and rebuild it. So it's been about a month since I took this thing apart. The issue I was having was the kit came with a diaphragm, which I'll show a picture of. The diaphragm was too small for the vacuum can. So I sent the kit back, and we were trying to find the right diaphragm that had this metal plate in the middle. And they did some research, they couldn't find one. So this is like discontinued, and this thing is pressed and made onto the diaphragm. It won't come off. So he sent me this one, and he was saying if I can get this thing off of here, I can transfer it over to here. Well, I didn't want to damage the plate or this diaphragm, which is not bad. It had a couple rips that was starting on the outside, and what I did, I just took some super glue and just kind of put some super glue on it. It's not ripped all the way through, because I was going to try and pry that off, but then I said if I do that and mess this up, I'll never be able to find another one of these, or I mess up the diaphragm getting it off and then mess this diaphragm up trying to put it back on there. So I just said we'll just use this one. But this is the one he sent me. This is 11 inch. The other diaphragm he sent me was a 10 inch. But the kit is for 11 inch. So something was mixed up in the packaging there. So this is the kit for 11 inch can. But the diaphragm, like I said, was a 10 inch. So here we are a month later. Finally got the kit back. I'll keep this. This is a good diaphragm. I'll just keep it. But we're going to make this one work. So I got most of all the parts cleaned and ready to put all the seals and stuff back together on it. Here's the master cylinder part, which the booster goes on this end. And this is your air. It's like an air check valve. It goes here. I just got to finish tearing it down to put all the springs and seals in it. But this kit here is for that check valve. I'm thinking that's what they call it. So that is the diaphragm Here's some of the seals. That's a locking ring that locks everything together like that, which I'll try and do a video on me putting it back together. It's just, I'm trying to remember how it came apart. I'm gonna have to run back when I took it apart. But this part of the kit is for the master cylinder part, which is this, and it has the O-rings, a little lubricant you put on your O-rings and stuff. Put it back together and some instructions. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and put this thing back together, and hopefully we have brakes that work and don't lock up, and we can go ahead and start using the truck. It's just been sitting in my yard, and I've been using it, just kind of using the bed to load stuff on and unloading back of pickup trucks, but no brakes. I couldn't really go nowhere. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this thing back together, and hopefully everything works out. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start putting this master cylinder together here. That way I get it together, and we can put this air check valve thing on last. So it's basically, it's got an O-ring and some seals in there. This is the end of the master cylinder, so this is going to screw in here, and actually the can goes in front of it, and the rod goes through from your diaphragm, and that's what pushes the master cylinder, just like a regular master cylinder, which pushes the fluid through into your wheel cylinders. So this thing here has some O-rings. I don't know what that screw is for. Oh, that's the screw for the band that goes around the can. It's really cool that they included all of that in there. But it's got the instructions, and that's what it looks like all together. So we got the instructions. It even shows how it goes, which is cool. So let's get started. So first thing I'm gonna do is remove these O-rings and seals. Hopefully I get this thing back together right, because it's been apart for a long time. Take this O-ring off. Man, this O-ring is on there. Now I've already had it off, because I kind of tore it down and did some cleaning first. So we got the O-ring on there. So then it's got some seals. Ooh, glad I didn't lose that. That seal's all dry rotted. You got a seal there that goes inside of there. So I'm just going to kind of lay it down. That's metal. I think I got some snap ring pliers. Yeah, that O-ring is pretty toasty, and it's got a lot of dirt and trash in there. So the top one goes in that way, and the bottom one goes in the opposite way. So I'm going to put it like that. I'm going to have to clean this out. Ew. A lot of crud in there. Let me clean that out with some brake cleaner. Should have already did it. It really works. Alright. So we've got two O-rings that are identical. So one goes on top. Try and get y'all in there. These little parts are so small. So this one face this way. Is that right? Forgot already. Top one faced that way, this one faced the opposite way. Am I wrong here? I think I am wrong. No, I'm right. I forgot already. It's easy to forget. Got snap ring pliers, I ain't using them. Top one, yeah, I got the top one in backwards. Maybe something that look right. Alright, so the seal, it's kind of hard to see because it's kind of dark in here, but this top seal faces outwards and the bottom seal faces outwards. So that's to get the O-rings on. I'm going to set these over there. What else we got? We got this piston plunger setup. Oh, I left something out. That came out of somewhere. Uh-oh. I didn't see that. What's wrong with I have so much space? Great. Oh, shucks. I think this one went, yeah, this one was on top. I can tell by, dang it. Can't remember if it was on top or the bottom. But how much space it's got, it looked like it was on top. It was on top and then the snap ring came out last. Alright, so I had to run the tape back and look. So this washer does go in first, and then, it goes in, the seal goes in first, then the washer, then the snap ring. So the seals face the opposite way from each other. So I had to run the tape back, take a look at everything. So, man. So I put the new bleeder screw. It comes with a new bleeder. Got the new bleeder screw in the cylinder part, which this has been cleaned thoroughly. I had a broken bolt in here. I had to drill out, and I tried to tap it. It wouldn't work, so I'm gonna have to run just a nut and bolt through. So now we got this spring here and the cap. Man, that thing looks small. That looks awfully small. It's two different sizes. I don't know if it's swelled. It might have swelled out. Guess that's got to go in there. That just falls right through. One thing about aftermarket. Well, it's actually the kit that goes with the thing, but that seal there, it's way smaller. So I took a picture on how all this comes apart. So the way it goes, this one's got like a nylon seal. Take that off. This has got to go on there like that. So the way it goes, so this piston is supposed to push that through. So it goes like that. That is the gasket between the can. You got that. It's got two O-rings there. Then inside of this thing here, this is another piston. It's got something at the bottom. You might have to use that piston, that seal piston, because that is awfully small. Take that little clip out. There's a spring and this little thing here, which this is the same thing. It's new. Showing nothing else in there. one of y'all out there is building one of these, I'm trying to do the best I can. The video, everything, it's kind of hard. A lot of stuff I didn't take apart because I didn't want to get too ahead of myself. But this spring here goes in this little piston. Then this little brass piston goes in there. I was looking at the instructions. They're kind of hard to read. Get something. Push that down there. A little clip gotta go down in there. I was caught inside the hole. Oh, don't want to lose that. Never find it. Thinking that's how it went in there. I know it didn't go beyond that. There's a ridge down there. There it goes. I don't know exactly what this thing does, but it's some kind of piston though. So it all lines up like that, and it goes back in, goes through the back. But my thing is where these two O-rings go. I don't know if the instructions show. Oh, I know where one goes. One goes right here. There's actually an O-ring right here. I didn't see that. Did not see that coming. So one O-ring goes there. Those O-rings the same size? Okay. I don't know where the other one goes though. I want to see that one. Is that an extra one, I guess? So, let's see. We got to get the can, the big part. There's a gasket that goes. So this goes here. It's a lock ring. Some of these O-rings actually smaller. So that's going to go like that. There's a gasket that goes between there. This is going to be a job. Just trying to put this back together. So it goes like that. Probably need to put grease on that O-ring. The only thing I'm scared of is this plunger here. Why is this one so much smaller? We're going to have to go with the old one because it's two different sizes. That's going to be too small. Yeah, we're gonna have to go with. We're gonna have to use this one that came out of it. 'Cause that other one's way too small. Hope I got the right O-ring on there too. That one looks. I don't know if that other one's. Something just don't look right. That O-ring's mighty small. That one's 10 times bigger. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'll put a little sealant around that because that O-ring, those other O-rings are too small. I don't like the way it looks. That'll let water inside of the can. We put just a dab of sealant on there. We'll use the old one. Just don't like the way it looks. Yeah, I like that better. Probably should have put a little sealant around that gasket too, but if I ever had to take it back apart, then there goes the gasket. Well, we'll snug it down. So we're gonna have to go with this O-ring here. I hate to, or it's a piston plunger thingy. So this goes in first, then this goes in, man, that thing just flipping all the way down through there. I have to take something and push it. Then you got this thing here. Get that snugged up there. So we got that part together. Now I need to put, I guess we can put the diaphragm and put all that back in. I don't know what else the second O-ring go, but one thing about it, I gotta remember how this go back together, because I don't remember. I think this was in. Oh, I need to tighten that nut up. I'm getting ahead of myself. I gotta get a socket to tighten this nut up, and then the diaphragm with that piston goes through there. I'm gonna have to lube all that up. So anyway, I gotta find a socket to tighten this nut up and tighten the back of it up. And then we'll put the diaphragm with that piston. I mean, not piston, with the rod. It's got to go slide in through there. So let me find a socket. Get that shaft all lubed up and get that in there. I really need this in my vise so I can feed it down through there. Alright, so what I did, I stuck this relief valve, I don't know what they call this thing, check valve top back on, and because this tube comes off of it and goes to the front of the can, so before I put that piston, I mean not piston, diaphragm back in, I wanted to make sure it was going to line up. So I'm going to put a little grease on here. That way you have a little friction, less friction. Bad thing is you can't buy these brand new anymore. You have to rebuild it. So This is going to go like that. Man, them seals are kind of stiff. I'm going to have to put some grease on it too. Hopefully that'll push through to the other seal that's in the bottom. Somewhere in the neighborhood like that. Man, that spring got some force. So I'm wondering, should we have put all that together at once? Because this is gonna suck. Oh man. This screw's shorter than the other screw? It's gotta be. Yeah, this screw is way too short. They give you a new screw for it, but it's short. I think it is. Oh! The hose in the way. Well, it's the same. I better leave it loose for now until I get this together. We'll just leave it like that. That band will hold it. So I might have to take it back apart. Maybe we should have put this together first. Because now I got to build this part. It has like a spring and a flappity flap in there. And we got to build this part here. So I'm going to move this over there for now. till we get this other stuff ready, because that's going to require so we got this piece here. I'm going to start with this. We got this little kit. O-rings, I mean some piston seals, I guess you would call it. Those are the old ones. So how will you get that over that? One of them's bigger than the other one. So this one here. Why does it have two? Does that come out of there? Like that comes out. How would you get that seal back over all that? That's going to be a real tight fit. There ain't no freaking way. I don't think that comes out. I don't want to do that. Let's mess it up. I ain't gonna try that. Somehow this other seal's got to go over this second half right here. I don't know how I'm going to get that back on there. I have to put it in the vise. I'm sorry, guys. I can't get it on there. Ow! Metal splinter. like this at all. Woo, that was a tight fit. I got it on there though. Had to put it in the vise and stretch it over this shoulder. Now the bottom one's easy. It just flop right on there. It's got a bigger seal and a smaller seal. So it'll go like that. I'm glad I didn't rip that. I guess it just got an extra one. So then you got the seal that goes like a lip seal. It goes in the top part, a little rubber lip seal. Now this is going to go to here. Got to put some lube-a-doob on it. It's got a couple of springs. This spring I know is going to go there. It's going to go like that. Then this is going to go like that. So you got a spring, then the cap. So we'll put that to the side. Then what else? Oh yeah, you got to put this on. Got your diaphragm. So that'll go on. Then you got the spacer. And you got this funny looking lock thingy. It locks down. Holds it all in place. Just push it on there. Give it a little love taps in the vise. Alright, so with that, like I said, that's going to go in there. Put a little lube on there. That's going to go inside of there, so we'll wait on that. So then we got this piece here. It's got a spring, some kind of O-ring in there. I see it. It looks like 8. And a flathead. Well, that needs to be clean. Yeah, there's an O-ring in there too. That's just like the other one. It came with the spring. Oh, okay, there it is. It's two just alike. Man, that is 10 times bigger. We might have to reuse that too. Some of the stuff in this kit is different. we have to reuse this seal and this seal because it's two different sizes. Some of the stuff's different. So spring goes. So we'll go like that. I'm forgetting how it goes already. So we'll go like that. Go like that. And the O-ring. Put that on top. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to clean this up good. And there's also an O-ring in there, look like. That's probably where that other one goes. Yep. There's an O-ring in there. Maybe we should lift that one in there. So I'm gonna get all this cleaned out because I'm gonna have to end up reusing some stuff. So let me get this cleaned out and we'll put it all back together. So I had to end up reusing this O-ring seal here because the one that they gave me, this one here, was way too small. So got it all cleaned out. Now we can put it back together. This little top here goes on first. Then you got spring. I guess the springs are either or. Maybe just like that. Oop. No, I do believe the spring is going like this. The big end of the spring faces the housing. My suggestion is take pictures before you take one of these apart, or do a video. So that goes like that. Got this little spring action. I remember when I took this thing apart, it had a piece of plastic caught up in it. That was holding this valve open. Oh well. So then we got this piece here, and it's gonna go inside the master cylinder. Put some grease on these. Fan is very loud. Grease this up real good. This is gonna go side of there like that. Then you got this spring. I believe it goes spring goes like that. So that will go over the top. And then I put that O-ring back in here too where that fitting goes, because it didn't come with an extra one. I don't know where this spring goes. I really don't know. It only had just this one spring in there. This one here. So I don't know where it goes. Actually, this one's a little bit shorter. It does the same. So that O-ring, this diaphragm seal is the gasket, really. That is a 7/16 or 11. This one here, I'm gonna have to put a nut and bolt because that hole is stripped out. I couldn't tap it any bigger because I didn't have enough metal left. So we'll just pull a lock nut. Actually, tighten down itself. We'll put the lock on the other side anyway. Let me get a wrench, knock that up. Alright, so that's together, and now I need to roll on the side because I got to put this back in. Put a little, there's an O-ring up in this 90 fitting. It didn't look bad, so We're gonna roll with it. A little bit on the threads. Have to turn this can a little bit. Man, that ain't starting. This at a 3/4. Pop right back out. How'd I guess that was gonna happen? Houston, we have a problem. Fitting don't want to start. This sucks. Don't want to go in there. Hope it ain't cross good. Don't seem like it. How easy does it come back loose? It feels good. That would suck. Looks like that's off a little bit, I guess. I can't tell if it's, it looks straight to me. We'll go with it. That's all we can do. Now this here I gotta get this band clamp. might be holding this part. I need some bigger pair of pliers. I don't have any in here. Nope, those ain't big enough. I have to go out there and get some pliers. We're working. Someone was holding it. What do I do with the nut? I think I got it closer though. There it goes. Hold that like that. It's one of them jobs where you need 2 hands doing all this stuff. Need somebody to hold it and work tools. There we go. Now the only other part is the vacuum hose that comes off the top of this that goes to the intake, and it should be in here. There's a gasket that goes up here. I just don't know where that little spring goes. It don't go in there. So this here goes on because it goes up to the intake. I don't remember which way it goes. Looked like it was facing just like this. I'm looking. I got it pulled up on the computer. It looked like it was like that. Or it was like something like that. Yeah. So it was like that there. And then you got the gasket. And just like that. This thing was not fun getting out by yourself because you land on your back, you got rust falling in your face. So it was quite the experience getting it out. It's going to be putting it back in too. Once you get it up on the bracket, easy. Just getting it up on the bracket. I think she's gonna work. We will find out. So it's all together. That's basically it right there. Get it back in the truck. I think it's a hose clamp that goes on here. Get it back in the truck and hook all the brake lines up, get some brake fluid in it, and hopefully we will have the brakes working like they're supposed to, and we can start using this thing, using the truck. I'm ready to start using it for some stuff, so hopefully this right here pans out. This is the last piece of the brake system that I hadn't touched. Everything else been done. Wheel cylinders, brake shoes, brake lines, front master cylinder on the firewall. So this is the last piece, but I think we got it. So tomorrow we'll be putting it in. Here it is. I got it all painted up and ready to go back in. Just kind of shot it with some rust prohibitor, black rust inhibitor. I wasn't going to do a customized glossy paint job. It was going to be up under the truck. So I'm going to get ready to put it back in there. Go from there. Alright, it's on there. Got all the air bleeded out of the system, and fixing to crank it up and see how it stops. So that's it there. So if you're rebuilding one of these on these old trucks, you can get what Harman classic brakes. They sell kits for these. The 11-inch kit though, they're having a problem finding the right diaphragm, but they do sell it for the 10-inch can. Really, this is basically all the same. Might be a few seals different, but from what I've seen, it's basically all the same. So I am going to get this thing ready to test it out and see how the brakes stop, and hopefully they're not locking up like they was before, and we'll be ready to start using this truck finally after months and months of going through the brakes and getting the right stuff to get the brakes going. So I am going to get away from under here because I'm tired of laying up on this truck. Alright, so I gave it a bath, and let's see how she's going to perform with the new parts in the brake booster. So I got a low tire on one side, so I'm going to just see how the brakes work. I did move it over to wash it. They felt like they wasn't locking up, but I haven't really just tested it. So let's see what she does. Fires right up. Good. Very good. Alright, let's see here. Reverse. No brake pedal. Stops right there. Put it in forward. I think that's forward. Nope, that's second. Forward. Stops good. Let's go back to reverse. I don't hear all that vacuum hissing inside the cab like it used to. So stops pretty good. I mean, this thing's got drum brakes all the way around. Okay. I guess the real test be when I put a load on the back of it. Put a car on the back of it and see See how it stops then with a car on the back, because it's more weight. But this thing ain't that fast anyway, so it's not like I'm gonna be doing 100 miles an hour with it, because it's geared really low. But it does stop. I gotta air up a couple tires because it's been sitting for so long, and once I get the tires aired up, I might try and load a car on the back of it and drive around. I haven't drove it with a car on the back of it, so I really don't know how it's gonna do. But they were using it at the body shop where I got it from, so he put a lot of money in painting it and getting it all cleaned up. I'm sure he didn't do it for nothing. But anyway, that's gonna be it. So if you're rebuilding one of these Dodge D600s or Ford F600 hydro boosters, hydro boost master cylinders, a booster master cylinder. I think they got two names for it. Anyway, I hope that helped you out when you're rebuilding one. Like I say, I'll put a link down below. Harman, I think it's Harman Classic Brakes. They sell a lot of brake stuff for different vehicles, classic vehicles. So you can hit them up and you can see what they got. I know they had what I needed for this one. Like I say, they were trying to find that 11-inch diaphragm for the booster. They found one, but it didn't have that metal plate in the middle, and he was saying I can split that thing and put it on the new diaphragm, but I just didn't want to risk it. I think it's welded together, but anyway, you can check them out anyway. So anyway, that's going to be it for the Dodge. Hopefully we'll get to tow some stuff with it now, and that's it. So like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for commenting still. Thank y'all for tuning in. Just make sure you got your notifications on, and that's it. Holler at y'all later. Peace out.